So welcome Madam Helen. Shine na sisi. We are at your mercy.
You could allow me to introduce her, by the way.
Sure.
Okay. I think I've interacted with Helen for some time now. We work on the same project. This is the Django blog project. I am the one leading the development of the Django the blog project for SpaceyaTech, the open source project, and quite instrumental she has been. Quite instrumental. She has been through the journey of development since we started. So she's been here with us since we started the development of the blog application. And being a dev enthusiast with Django, she actually has taught me personally a lot on some of these technologies. And I'm quite sure you'll be able to hear from her this evening. Helen, you can unmute your mic and you can even tusikie sauti yako for the first time. Okay, tusikie sauti yako for the first time.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Helen. Yeah, and I'll be your speaker today. I'll be taking you through authentication with Djoser. Yeah, I plan to make it as simple and I plan to make it as simple as possible in a way that someone will work with it. Yeah, let me share my screen. You can all see my screen. I hope so.
Yeah, we can.
So just an authentication. Authentication is just a way of proving validity or identity of a user, like you're authenticating a user. Yeah, and Djoser is a library that contains all the views. Okay, like some of the views for authentication with Django. Like when you're writing your endpoints, you have to write your views for registration, login, logout, creating users, all those viewing users, updating and all that. Now Djoser has made it simpler by providing endpoints for doing all that. Yeah, and that's what we'll look at today. So the available endpoints that Djoser has provided, this is the users one, which is used for registration of users and also retrieving all the users. If you're the currently logged in user, this endpoint will give you your details. But if you're an admin, you'll get all the details, all the users available. Yeah. The second one, which is the user stroke me, this one returns the currently logged in user, and it is used for retrieving and also deleting and updating a specific user. Using this endpoint, you'll use it to update a user, delete, and also view their details. The third one, which is the user stroke activation. This one is used to activate a user's account after you create your account. And resend activation, this endpoint is used to send the activation email after you create your account. Now it sends the activation email to the email that you will provide. Users stroke set password. This one is used for changing the current password of a user. The reset password is used to send the email that contains the link to change the password. And password confirm. I'm on the password confirm URL. This one is used when you're doing the finishing up of resetting your password. Also, the last three also work the same. Yeah, the last three also work the same as the reset password. The difference is with the set username and reset username and reset. This one is supposed to be reset username confirm. Okay, with that, the username part depends on your username field. Like when you create a model, a custom model, you provide a username field and you change it from maybe username to email, so it will be set underscore email, reset underscore email. Yeah, and it also has the endpoints for the tokens. There's the token login, token logout. Those two you use when you're using token authentication, and the last three you use when you're doing authentication with JWT. Yeah. So the requirements are what you need to work with Djoser. It's Django, definitely, Django REST, Djoser itself, and the Django REST JWT. That is if you're working with JWT. Yeah. Setup. You have to configure your installed apps and add.
Sorry, Helen, I
Djoser
interject. Okay, setting. I'm not even stopping it. I just have a. What if I don't use Django? Can I still use Djoser? That was my question.
I think it's a Django library, so I don't know if you can use it if you're not using Django.
Oh, and I get it, Djoser, the DJ. Okay, it's a Django platform. Okay.
Yeah. So the setting up, you have to configure your installed apps and add Django REST and also Djoser and maybe all the apps that you've created for your project. You also need to configure URLs to add the Djoser URLs. We will see how all that is done. And you also have to configure REST framework settings to set the default authentication class. And also you have to configure the simple JWT to add the headers and access token live and all that. Yeah. So I've already done some part of it, so we'll just be going through it. Okay. So the first part is to install, which I've already done, which I've provided here. Yeah, pip install, and you install all those libraries. You and add the REST framework, the Djoser, as third-party libraries, and also I've created an account app, so I've added it in my installed apps. Also, I need to configure REST framework to add the default authentication class, which I've used simple JWT, yeah, for authentication, and also the simple JWT settings. Yeah, and also there are user settings that you need to configure, and we will look at some of them. Yeah, so the URLs, you configure them to use Django URLs, Djoser URLs. This one gives the endpoints, and this one provides the endpoints for JWT. Yeah, we can have a look at some of the endpoints. So this stroke users, the first one that we had. This one you use it to register your users. Yeah, you provide the email, username, password. Yeah, we can do that. So let me just test. So here we've created a user using these endpoints. The second one was user stroke me. This. You have to provide the token, the access token, to be able to access this endpoint. So we'll do that here. So we'll provide the username, which is test password. No active account found. Gosh. So what was that password? Yeah. So you get the access token. We'll copy it and use it. I'm using mode header for issuing the token. Authorization. Now I need to add the value. I need to, because in our settings, we used the header as JWT. You need to include JWT in your token. So the access token. Now we access this. We get the currently logged in user. With this, you can change the email and you can delete the user. Yeah, let's change the email. Yeah, as you can see, it's changed. Yeah, so we've covered the users endpoints, the user stroke me endpoints, and the JWT stroke create for creating the token. We can test the set password. This one is used to change your password. So you give a new password. Hope I won't forget. It returns a 204, which means you're successful. If you're not successful, it will return a 400 bad request. Yeah, so with that, we've changed our password. You can also change the username. So you have to provide your current password, which you just changed. And the new username. The username this already exists where? Yeah, so we've changed the username and we've changed the password. So what else? What other endpoints? Confirm. Set, reset, sending email, blah blah blah. Yeah. So those are the basic endpoints that are provided by Djoser. So there are a few things that you can do. If you want you want a confirm password field, you just configure this Djoser setting and set the user create password retype to true. With that, you will get a confirm password field. Also, if you it's the same with password. If you want a confirm password field here, and also if you want a confirm username here, you just change the user settings to set password reset to true and set username to true. Also, when Djoser works with the Django built-in model. So if you want to add more functionality to your what do we call it, to your serializer, you just need to customize the Djoser serializer and configure it here in the settings. So I've done customization for the user creating a user. So I've added more fields. So the user will need to add the first name, the last name. Yeah, those are the ones that I've added. So when you do that, you come here and you configure it to the serializer settings and add. I'm not so sure it's confirm. And then you direct it to where that customized serializer is. So you start with the app name, the file name, which is serializer, and the customized serializer, which is user creates serializer. So we put it here. With this, no, sorry. Gosh, it's not working. So it's supposed to add more. It's supposed to add more fields. First name and last name. I'm not so sure why it's not doing that. I'm not sure why. Is it user creates? Anyone who knows why? No.
Helen.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to. What did you copy to this place? Where did you get it from? It was from.
Serializers.
Okay, it was a serializer. Okay.
Yeah, it's a serializer. I'm trying to customize it.
Yeah, but it's good to say. Just try saving and refresh. Okay, I think it should go.
Saved and it's refreshed. I don't know why it's not working. It's supposed to change. It's supposed to give me more fields. Yeah. Here you go.
There's a comment here. Someone is asking, does Djoser come with pre-configured models, model serializers, views, and okay, let me just read it afresh. Does Djoser come with pre-configured models, serializer, views, and create user methods and functions?
Yes.
It comes with them pre-configured.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope Kimani you answered.
Well, maybe let me just ask Babali. So I asked so because I can see she had some serializers. So I was wondering, did she write it by herself or are they available in the documentation? Something like that.
Oh, I've customized Djoser serializers. As you can see here, I've imported it from Djoser serializers and then reused it here to customize the fields part.
Okay, so are those fields, can you add, like, let me see the models, the models that you're using.
Just
Can I see your
using
models?
No, I'm not using my model.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me show you. Here, this is the Django serializer. It's using the user model that you've provided. That is inbuilt. This one.
So that comes from Django or it's
No,
personalized?
it comes from Djoser.
Or from Djoser.
Yeah.
So can you add like an extra attribute? For instance, you can add a
Yes.
flag that says verified or something.
Pardon?
Can you add an extra attribute, or how do you check the available attributes, and how can you personalize an extra attribute?
Oh, when you You're asking about a customizing model. When you customize the user, how you can work with it.
Yeah, like for instance, your create serializer takes in username, first name, and yeah, and the rest. So I'm asking, is there a way you can create a personalized field that's that you want to add? Maybe let's say a verified or something like that.
Yes.
And how can you do that?
Okay. When if you want extra fields that are not in the built-in user models, you'll have to create a custom user model. When you create a custom user model, Djoser will automatically know that is the model you're using. So you'll just come here and specify the fields that you want in your user model.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So yeah. What else? What else? So yeah, you can customize the serializers that Djoser provides, and yeah, and put them in your way, like the way you want them to function. You'll just change the where it's pointing to. Yeah, and also when you when you're working with a custom model, okay, we can create one. When you're working with a custom model, I'm trying to create a custom model so you can see how we go about that. So I've created this earlier. So I've done this. I want to make the email unique. I don't know why Django doesn't make the default user email unique. Just yeah, so configure it in the settings. I want the oh god. And set it to accounts. Now with this I have to delete. This model I've made the username field to be email and the required fields to be username and phone number. By default, without customizing this, the fields that will be provided here are the fields in the requirements field. Yeah, because first name and last name were not in the required fields, that's why it was not there, and we had to customize. But now if we include in our model, we've included username and phone number, it will be automatically included in these fields of creating a user. So when we run the users one, now we'll be provided with the fields in the required fields, that is phone number, email, the username, and the others which are the username, no, the others which are the email and password. Yeah, and when it comes to resetting now the username, we just have to write set underscore the field in your username field, which in our case is email. This was not found here because we've changed our database, so this user is not found. So we have to create a new user and give the user an access token, and then be able to change the username and the password, and be able to retrieve and delete that user. Yeah, I guess that is what I had on Djoser. Yeah, and also as I was doing my 1-2-1-2, I noticed that with when you try to delete a user, it gives you an error. And then I googled and they told I googled and the result was that when you're using JWT, you have to include this token model. You have to configure it to none to be able to delete a user, because JWT doesn't work well with token model. Yeah, that is all I had. Thank you. Any questions?
Sure. That was fantastic, Helen. But I have a question. I have been, playing with Djoser for the last, I think, a week or two, and I've noticed that if you don't have the account, no, the app as account, it doesn't work. I don't know if you've had the same scenario.
No, I haven't noticed. I've been using accounts. Okay, when you use a different, it doesn't work.
Yeah, let me say, okay, so for instance, when you say maybe not account and you use maybe authentication, on my case, imekuwa ikinipea
It doesn't
errors.
work.
So
Okay,
maybe,
mm-hmm.
okay, it's all right. Maybe you can try that later on, and then we can interact afterwards and then see if it's the same case for you too.
Okay. Any other
We have a
question?
question. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is asking, Imran is asking, does this package include social authentication? That is Google, Facebook, Twitter, and what's not?
Yes. Yes, it includes the way to use it is in the documentation. Yeah, it includes the social yeah, that's the
Also, he is asking if this one is better than Django or us.
well. I don't know. What do you all think?
Okay, I think I can answer that one. From experience, I think Django Olos goes I think all the way to web. And it doesn't come with something like tokens. You have again to manually code how to get tokens and bring them to life. But with Djoser, these things are most of them are done for you. So in my case, I think Djoser is better when you're authenticating APIs because APIs come with security. So for me, all those goes for when I'm doing something to do with web, and Djoser will go for something to do with just endpoints. I don't know what's the view for anyone else. So we have another question. Francis is asking or saying, tell me the benefit of Djoser with DRF over the use of MVT. I'm not sure I understand the question.
I guess I'd prefer Juicer because it has like inbuilt serializers and everything. And also the permissions are there, everything is there.
True, true, true. So any other question? Anyone with a question can just unmute and go.
I have a question. It's not
Sure.
directly to Helen, but to anyone. So I'd like to know how permissions to certain routes is configured with Django. So the auth package whereby, let's say, your application has user types, and actually two questions. So the first question is how permissions are configured, and the next one will be how to handle user roles. For instance, if you can have different user roles, but an instance could belong to one or more user roles. For instance, you can be an admin and a normal user, and you can just be a normal user, something like that. I don't know if you get it, but I hope you do. Anyone?
Permissions are configured in your views, like you add it using the permissions classes attribute, then you add the permission that you want. Like if it's a registration view, maybe this can be viewed by everyone because registration is for everyone. Then you add the permission class to allow everyone. And also maybe if it's viewing all users, which is just an admin role, you just add permission class and then give it is admin on permission. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if that is satisfying, Kimani.
Yes, it is. And maybe the second question, configuring roles, like how could you associate an instance to two different roles at the same time? This to anyone, not necessarily Helen. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting your question. Like,
So what you are asking is, let's say you have maybe a manager, you have a supervisor, and then you have the staff. So different roles for everyone, where maybe the manager is kind of the admin, and then the staff has some limited permission, and the staff has probably none. That is what you're asking.
Yeah, yeah. And let's say the admin can also, or the supervisor is also, let's say you have an employee, supervisor, and admin, right? So everyone at the base level is an employee. So an admin can as well as have the views or permissions to view the endpoints for an employee, and an employee can just be an employee.
I don't know. I think you have to write permissions for everyone, if I'm not wrong, Helen, or
Okay.
anyone else.
yeah, you can customize your own permissions. Yeah, you can customize permissions too. And also in
All
the
right
case of
then.
admin and other And other uses like the admin has the is staff value. So that attribute helps in distinguishing the different permissions and roles. Yeah, I guess. But you can customize your own permissions.
You can also read about enums.
Sorry?
Sorry, could you type it out?
You can read about enums. That way you can use to do customization for different roles.
Okay, thanks.
You can create a function. Then each function will have its own enums. Let's say you are an admin, we'll take maybe value 1, then the supervisor value 2. Then inside each view, you need to call the enum. I don't know if you are getting me, but
Yeah. It actually makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, read about enums. I think it will put the issue of permission, not permission,
Okay.
but all.
Another question.
Okay, nice. Keep quiet. Any other questions? So if there is none, I think I'm not sure if Helen is in the group where you have SpaceyaTech backend developers. So if you have Helen, you are there in that group.
Yes, yes.
Nice. So if you have any other question or you'd like a follow up on the topic, you can reach out to Helen in the group, WhatsApp group. And I was told tomorrow we have another session on Flask, I think. So if you will be available, I'm not sure the time, maybe I check, but if you're available, we can meet tomorrow, talk about Flask. And thank you for everyone for making time for this. It's been fun. I'm certainly sure we have all learned something. And I don't know, Helen, you have something to say before we close?
Uh, Helen,
Thank you all for joining.
Sorry?
That's all I have to say. And try out Djoser. Thank you all for joining and try out Djoser. Yeah.
Helen, hatuja kusikia. Ongea tena. We are not getting you.
Okay, I'm saying thank you for joining and you should all try out Djoser. Yeah, and in case of any questions, yeah, you can reach out. Thank you.
Kuna
Nice.
swali.
For those asking vile to join group ya WhatsApp, I don't know if I should give out my number and then you can reach out. I'll give you a link, or Juma. Can we get the link on the chat, or I just give out my number or your number, and then you can reach out for the link.
I think let me share a link for the WhatsApp group here, Django.